Guys, it's been such a long time since we last saw you. That's when we were leaving Kingfisher Marina in Demopolis, Alabama, and heading down the last bit of the Tombigbee River to Mobile, Alabama, and Mobile Bay. We crossed Mobile Bay and got over to Gulf Shores, Alabama, right near the Florida line there, and stayed at the wharf for a while, which was a beautiful marina. Then we made our way with several stops in between, to Apalachicola, and then over to Carabel, which is on my shirt, to the moorings. That's where everybody sits up and waits to cross the Gulf. Well, when we got there, we only had to wait a night because the Gulf was going to be beautiful the next day, and it was. It was a flat ride all the way across. We went to Steinhatchee from there, and it was gorgeous, had just been rebuilt. From there, we made our way to an anchorage at Crystal River, which was absolutely gorgeous. You'll see that in these videos. Then to Clearwater, and then to Captiva Island. Then we made our way to Fort Myers and a couple stops along the way, which you'll see. And then we crossed Okeechobee, came out in Stewart, and then we made our way up the Intracoastal Waterway to Daytona Beach, Halifax Harbor, which we needed to get there by Thanksgiving. So that's when it was, Thanksgiving. So we made it up there for family purposes, a gathering. We left the boat there through the holidays. Then we got back on the boat and cruised back down south, down the Intracoastal Waterway, all the way to Key West, with some gorgeous stops on the way. We ended up staying almost 2 months in Key West. Then we made our way to the Bahamas. So the boat is now in the Bahamas. So I think what would be best for us to do at this point is just to give you a really quick update visually with a lot of different photos and explanations and videos along the way. And then we'll get out a video with some details as well. So I think you'll get the most kick out of this. Lots of beautiful dolphins. Dolphins surrounded our boat everywhere we went. Some big bull sharks, a lot of tarpon, a lot of nurse sharks. We did some snorkeling with all kinds of wildlife there. When we were anchoring in Alabama, quite a few very large alligators. So take a look at this and we'll get you some detailed updates. But as I say, the boat is now in the Bahamas, on Grand Bahamas. We had a little medical emergency and we had to fly back to Ormond Beach. That's where we are right now. So this will get you up to date to basically mid-April 2024. All right, God bless.
This is Wednesday, October the 25th. We just pulled into port today, and actually less than an hour ago, and we're fueling up so that we can depart very early tomorrow morning. Get through the lock and hopefully get to Bobby's Fish Camp tomorrow night on day one of our continued journey south. Beautiful afternoon.
Well, here we are, one of 6 coming on out of Demopolis Lock early in the morning on Thursday, October 20th. So this section of the Tombigbee, you can see we got about 10 or 11 feet of water. Here, we're cruising just off the center line, around 10.5, typically, just the wind's picking up. What I'm doing right now is alligator hunting. I know this is an area with a lot of alligators, so I'm keeping my eyes peeled there, watching for logs or anything here.
Alligator sighting.
Second, you missed one of them. He's a big one. He's a big boy over there, ready to come in and get you. All along this shoreline, we don't want to swim. That's holding us up. So we're here at Bobby's fish camp, tied up to their dock while we wait several hours for 3 different tows to go through. This is the final lock on the Dirty Dozen. The Tombigbee. We won't see another lock until Lake Okeechobee in Florida. And then the next time after that will be in New York. This is it.
This is about the 3rd or 4th time St. Bartholomew and SonChaser have passed each other one way or the other. They made it through Coffeyville Lock ahead of us, and then we passed them, and then they passed us when we were anchored for the night, and now we're passing them the next morning. Nice barge captain there.
Suddenly we're near the ocean, and the seagulls are So we made it across Mobile Bay over to Dog River just in time to celebrate Lisa's birthday. And then the next morning we are up and at 'em, recrossing Mobile Bay on our way to Orange Beach, Alabama, and the Wharf Marina. That was a gorgeous trip along the lower Alabama coast there. Well, the audio was overcome by the wind there, but what I was talking about was that we were on autopilot, basically heading due south, and we were in about 25 to 40 feet of water out there, and for some reason we were really churning up a big wake behind us, more than usual, and I believe it's because we were going against the current. And then in no time we turned north and went into the channel there and headed straight up to the Wharf Marina. On our way we passed Lulu's, the famous bar and restaurant owned by Lucy, Jimmy Buffett's sister. Jimmy had not passed away at that point, but it's in the Homeport Marina, and in that area you basically either stay there or the wharf where we ended up going. There was another looper boat, Raven, in there as we passed, and then there's another very big bar on the other side of the channel called Tacky Jack's, of course. Here's Tacky Jack's. I think we just hit the big time with this marina. Even the dolphins are in. And SonChaser is way over there. Right back there. The other side of those poles. In good company though. Of course, there's always a lot of work to be done on a boat, pretty much non-stop, but there's also a lot of play. palm trees. It was pretty interesting. We're on the Intercoastal Waterway, cruising along, and then you see those buildings off in the distance there. They're on the beach. So, Orange Beach area, closing in on Destin. And so we're cruising this beautiful water, which is just, I don't know, a half mile or less from the beach. And then sometimes it's, oh, I think you may have seen that dolphin. There's one right there. Perfect timing. Come on back, buddy. Let's see if we see him back here.
So we were just boarded by a police boat. I am not sure if it's actually a Coast Guard or just a Florida police boat, but he's doing an inspection. He checked our toilets, our pump out situation. He's doing a safety check, making sure that we are not committing any violations and everything's up to code. He checked our registration, and he's actually very friendly and helpful. He pulled up in a boat and was dropped off, and the police boat took off, and I imagine they're going to come back and pick him up. So far pretty painless. Very nice officer.
This water, by chance, is it brackish or is it all salt?
This is all brackish. So this is actually what I'm looking for. You'll see that. See how green it is? Yeah, so it's pretty apparent when you do see it.
Shortly after this, we arrived at Baytown Marina near Destin, and it was a gorgeous spot. We picked up Lisa's best buddy, Dawn, and she stayed on the boat until Pensacola. And that's right when all the dolphins decided to ride our bow. And they stayed there for the longest time. It was really exciting. You can hear the excitement in our voices. They'll come back up. There. Well, we made it to Pensacola, but they docked us next to a bunch of pirates. So the next night we anchored out. As soon as we put the anchor down, this very big alligator came out. I don't know if you can tell how big he is, but he is probably at least 6 feet long, because that's just his head showing. And here we are right here, having just anchored, and the other boat in the anchorage was going to pull up somewhere along here and let his dog go to the bathroom. That would have been one bite. We're pretty close to Apalachicola, but we decided to anchor in this oxbow anchorage instead of taking another dock. He's a big boy, heading out to do some fishing, I guess. Well, we kept on driving and we made it to the place where every looper ends up at some point, the Moorings Marina in Carabel. Most people sit for quite a few days, some for several weeks, waiting for the perfect crossing conditions. We only had to wait one night, and then we were ready to go the next day to cross over to Steinhatchee, Florida. Well, this morning we woke up to do our Gulf crossing, and this is what we find. About 200 yards visibility of fog. So, as all the loopers say, don't make plans. Sure enough, we're pushing on and going very slow, only 6 miles per hour, and following our charts and heading out toward Dog Island. And our instruments say that in the Gulf itself, it has burned off. So that's what we're hoping for on this big day for us, crossing the Gulf. Not sure if you can tell how blue that water is. Bluish green. This is the fog bank that we spent the morning going through. That's it, hanging back there, causing mariners issues coming out of the harbors. And as for us, coming around Dog Island, and now, suddenly, it's just like that. Beautiful, beautiful water. Thank you, Lord. And there goes Fun Quest. Beautiful boat. Up on plane. Big rooster tail in the back. I could be water skiing behind that.
Say cheese. How's it feel to cross the Gulf today? Amazing, right? Get the salt off.
So here is kind of the lay of the land up here. I basically have the autopilot on, and I'm watching depth here as we go forward, and constantly watching depth on here and there. And then I've got the map set up with our plots, and as you can see, this is us, and we're going toward this next waypoint that we have to go all the way around that little light down there and then turn up and go that way, because this is very shallow. There's a reef there that we have to go around. So I've got the autopilot set on this waypoint, and we've got everything set up here. You see the autopilot's doing his job and crackling there. And then we're looking out on this beautiful, beautiful, calm Gulf of Mexico. And we're heading toward Clearwater area. Tonight we're going to stop in Cedar Key and anchor out in these little islands. So the waters turned from blue to emerald today, and lots of great dolphin action. So that's what we're doing up here. You can really never take your eyes off the route, because there's always something. There's a lot of crab pots in the way that you got to steer around, and you're just always making adjustments. So that's what we're doing on SonChaser. looks like we're in Chicago, but we're not. We're in Miami. So here we are cruising from Marathon to Key West. We delayed this morning because we were going to get up at 8 o'clock and the winds were very high. What we didn't want to do is end up with another day like we had when we cruised in here with 3-4 foot waves, which doesn't sound like much until you're on a boat in the ocean and it's doing that. So today it is absolutely gorgeous. We waited until 11 o'clock. We actually got on the water, or out in the channel, Hawks Channel that is, at 11:40. So we've got about a 4-hour, basically a 5-hour cruise to Key West. And outside of a bunch of crab pots mucking it up, it is a gorgeous day. You couldn't have a better day. So thank you, Lord, for this beautiful weather. At this point right now, we are just crossing, oh gosh, what is that? Sugarloaf Creek. And so we got a couple more hours to go. It is a beautiful, I'm going to give you this site right now. That's Boca Chica. We need to go around. And so it's a busy day today. It's a beautiful day. I've got it on autopilot right now. I wouldn't be doing this. But anyway, tomorrow would definitely be better because we'll be in the harbor, God willing, at Key West. These 6, and then there's Big Daddy over there with the big spikes on his back. All out there getting their sun. On this wonderful Easter morning, cruising behind several other boats, and we're going up to Rodriguez Key. There's some of the keys over there, and then we'll overnight and then head over to the Bahamas, God willing. What a beautiful day. Thank you, Jesus, for this awesome day of sunshine and safety. So our plan was to cruise up to Key Largo and tuck in behind Rodriguez Key. We were following Tuscan Sun, a beautiful Katie Krogan, who had a lot of experience in doing this run. Well, this morning we're heading out from Rodriguez Key, which is back there where all those boats are anchored. And we're heading off to Bimini, following Tuscan Sun, beautiful Katie Krogan. So we're just going through the reef section here and heading out to the Gulf Stream. Ought to be exciting. Now we did secure everything, like TVs and dishes and glassware and everything down in the salon and the galley. But this time the seas got so rough I wasn't able to video them, so we don't see them here, but you will see the aftermath of all of our cushions and even a little table and all kinds of things that just got knocked over because of the high seas that were hitting us on the beam. If we were just going straight into them, it would have been no big deal. But eventually it calmed down and we had a beautiful last 2 hours into Bimini. Of course, we're on autopilot now. It's gotten much better. This water is just crazy blue. Trying to get to a marina in time before they close. We really need it because there's a storm coming up tomorrow. We absolutely loved our time in the Bahamas with our new friends, but we're going to have to do that on another video. This one's just getting too long and the adventures were too big on our times in the Bahamas, back to Florida, and then back to the Bahamas again. So watch for that episode coming up and we'll cover everything then. Thank you for hanging in this long on this trip from Alabama to the Bahamas.